Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm going to be doing a closet tour. What is in here is the product of years of collection. Some things in here have been in my life for probably like 10 years or so now. Some things are collected from vintage thrift events or from the actual thrift store. A lot of the things that I own are actually upcycled designer goods from consignment shops like The Real or from ones that are even in my hometown or in any place that I visited. So the things in here are very special to me. I always talk about on this channel how I believe in buying things because you love them, because you're going to have them for a long time. I've also talked about how a lot of the things in my closet I've bought for a certain amount of money or for a certain value, and they've actually helped me out in really rough parts of my life where I needed to, let's say, sell something. One of those examples was a Vivienne Westwood corset that I had gotten many years ago before there was like the big corset trend, and it just didn't fit me right, and I decided to sell it in order to pay rent 1 month. So a lot of these things are important in that way because they can be like your assets, but every garment is very important, marks a certain point in my life, and they've gone through, I put my clothes through a lot, so they have a lot of memories. So without further ado, my closet. Double doors! So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is, I'm not going to take it out because I'm actually wearing it. This is probably one of the newer additions to my closet. I'm wearing the... Wait, I'm gonna change my shoes. Oh. So the garment that I'm currently wearing, I just got at one of the greatest thrift events of the year, probably for like all around the world, and it's called A Current Affair. It happens in San Francisco, I believe, in the Bay Area. It happens in Los Angeles, and it happens in New York City. And I'm closer to New York City, so this year we made our great fashion pilgrimage up to New York City and Brooklyn to go to the best thrift event of the year. It's for 2 days, and you buy tickets for it, and it's this enormous warehouse filled with the most beautiful garments from literally all around the world, from all cultures, all time periods. And the first day that I went, I didn't get anything, and you should always trust your gut and not force yourself to buy something, right? When you know there's another day. So I waited for the second day, and within 15 minutes, I find this dress, and it was exactly what I was looking for. And the woman who, I'm gonna insert the name of the woman who sold me this dress, but she has been doing vintage and styling for probably over a decade or 2 decades by now, I believe. And she was so sweet. I found this garment. It is, we call it the 12-year dress because she told me this whole story that she used to be a stylist, and this dress was pretty much hanging on a hanger in a garment bag for 12 years. And she had brought it to sets, and nobody had worn it or used it for any of the jobs. And in A Current Affair, some years before the pandemic, one girl tried it on and never bought it. And so I tried it on, and I was like, oh my God, this fits me. This is the most incredible thing ever. I love that it's sheer, and the iridescence of the sequins on here is really extraordinary, matched with this like dusty lavender color, and it's completely stretchy, so I can like move in it and do all kinds of things with it. And the balloon sleeves, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Yeah, so this garment sat like in a closet in a trunk for like 12 years and nobody bought it. Excuse you. I just felt like right then and there that it was made for me. I threw a bunch of money at it for sure, but this is a garment to me that I will never ever get rid of. I don't care if I have a daughter or whatever, a son, like this is gonna stay in my family for as long as I can help it. This dress is from the 1920s, and there's no zipper on it either, and it's literally like it slinks on. It's like the definition of a slip dress, and I can just imagine. I have no idea what woman had this made for her. It's handmade, but I'd love to know her walk of life, because this is a number. So I just had to introduce this dress because this is the star of the show. This is like my sole prized possession in my life, honestly. So not a lot, but a decent size portion of garments in here, thanks to Cammie's introduction in my life, are made by me. And I'm very proud of that, even with the very little skill set that I have when it comes to sewing and cutting and patterning clothes. So the first thing that I'll show you, there are a few, but the first thing is this dress. This is the most recent addition to my wardrobe. This used to be a top man sweater. It is bleached cotton, and I got it for myself and wore it as a sweater for a long time, but really it's too grungy for me to wear, and I had thought I couldn't get rid of it. I couldn't, the way that this is bleach spattered is just too unique to me, and it's very comfortable, and I was like, I have to keep this. I got to figure out what to do with it someday. And so what I did was I ended up cutting it, and I put the tops of the shoulders together in the back and made the sleeves come up farther so that they would be shorter, but they also are very flattering, like as sleeve length. So they come up behind my back. And then I took the rest of the sides, which I cut off to make the body of the dress, and I put them in the front so that they would tie over top of my bust. And they can be tied into a knot, they can be tucked in, they can be sewn into another place, but it's a very versatile dress. And this is an example of what you do when you can't spend money on a new dress, but you use what you have, and you also buy things that you really love. Because I could not get rid of this, so I decided to do something with it. The second garment that I will show you is famously known to me, and me only, as the Vegas dress. The Vegas dress. It's called the Vegas dress because I originally designed it to be worn in Vegas. I did not wear it in Vegas. I wore it in Oahu, but it is a very, very short nightclub dress, and it's made of all sorts of mismatched ties in the back to make all of the straps and to hold it to my waist a little better. And it is made out of like a Zoomies tank top for men. And I got this like literally 15 years ago, like back when I wore Vans, back when I wore a Neff beanie and had like slanted bangs. And I was like, this is the coolest like stained glass pattern on a dress. And I was like, I gotta keep this forever. Even if it looks stupid on me now, I'll figure out something to do with it later. So I ended up making it into a very, very skimpy nightclub dress that just barely covers my ass. But I love this thing. We'll keep it forever. Forever. And the last thing that I'll show you that I've made, you guys will probably recognize it if you have been watching my videos for a while, but this is probably the first dress I ever like really, really made. Like actually like tried hard to make, because originally this was the front and it was way, way, way too small. And you can tell that it was too small because of these patches, these inserts in the front. I thought this fabric was far more stretchy than it is, and it is in one direction. And so I patterned it in the wrong direction. So it was impossibly tight. I couldn't even fit it over my hips when I first made it. So I kept inserting pieces of fabric into the dress in order to make it fit me. And once I inserted this super stretchy black fabric, I was able to finally fit into it. But the cool thing about not knowing what the hell you're doing is that you get happy accidents. And what this dress does is since it's tight, whenever it goes over top of my body, and this is a stretchier fabric, it pulls in the direction of like your bust and your hip. So it actually gives you a curvaceous kind of illusion silhouette in the center. So I thought that was really cool. And I have this little safety pin, which I like to call this like mother's milk, but it's a pearl that I received from my aunt many, many, many years ago, and I use it and I dangle it just above my bust so that it looks like milk. But this is like the first official dress that I designed. Didn't really. Okay. I'd say probably like second most costly thing that I own would be this Stacy Nashimoto evening pajama set. And now to give some context, this set is supposed to be equally for the bedroom as it is for a bar or a club. So this is designed by Stacy very geniusly and correctly to be worn in the home. You're having a glass of wine, you're winding down for the evening, and then a friend gives you a call and says, hey, meet me at this bar or whatever. I want to go out for drinks. And you don't have to do anything but put on a beautiful pair of heels, get a nice clutch, maybe a fur stole or something like that, and you leave the house in this pajama set. It's supposed to be that elegant, and it truly, truly is. I made payments on this, and I've had to wash it myself. I've taken care of this garment. It still has, wearing silk is not an easy fabric to wear if you have an active life at all. If you go to restaurants, things like that. So you really do need to take care of these garments. It is washable silk, thank God. But, when you have nice things, and you are not like an extraordinarily luxurious person, and you don't have the ease of time and a lot of money to buy another outfit, they're gonna get like a little dirty. And that's kind of, I kind of like that. They're worn in, a lot of these garments. I've had this for a few years now, maybe 2.5, 3 years. And it has like a little stain here, a little stain there, but I don't know. I don't really care that much. And I still wear it out. And I wear it like out on the town as well as inside the house, or for like special occasions like New Year's in our house, in the houseboat. But this is a very, very luxurious thing that I own. It has abalone buttons and it's made in Los Angeles. It's very cool. Stacy Nashimoto is the coolest person ever. If you don't know who she is, figure it out. We're going to transition into shoes very quickly because speaking of, worn in, we're going to talk about my Manolos because I have an obsession with Manolos. You can't really see these Manolos here, but these are the most beat up pair of shoes you will probably ever see. They are very opulent leather pattern, and I have put these shoes through a ringer. I've worn these in multiple states, multiple countries, and I've worn them every day in multiple different climates and snow and all that. But I really like, I like Manolos in general because I like the shape of Manolo shoes. They're narrow and they make your foot look very elegant. And I like to think that I'm an elegant woman. So I have 3 pairs of Manolos. These are my cherry red kitten heel Dorsey Manolos, which I also wear all the time. And then I have black patent leather Oxford Manolos. I literally wear these to work. I wear them everywhere. They're a tad small, but they're leather, so they stretch out to the point where it's comfortable. But I like the idea of an aesthetic that's centered around a disowned rich kid that has to that doesn't have any more money, right? Their parents kick them out. They don't have any money to buy fine things anymore, but they still have a trunk load of fine things and designer goods. But because they're broke, they have to wear through their designer stuff. So their shoes and their garments and stuff got a little bit of dirt on them. I kind of like that aesthetic, that a little bit of filth to the wealth. So Manolos are a huge part of my life. If I could choose one shoe to wear for the rest of my life, it'd definitely be Manolos. Manolo mules or kitten heels. The second thing that you will find in my shoe collection is going to be Oxfords. I just showed you the Manolo Oxfords that I have, which are patent leather. But the other 2 that I have are Acne Studios and Saint Laurent. These are the Saint Laurent ones. I wish that we had better lighting in here, but these are perforated leather, patent leather, and they are an actual sock. They're the most comfortable shoes I own and have ever owned. And oh my God, I got these brand new, from the Real. They were pre-owned, but never worn. And I got them for $144. And they were a recent collection too. It is amazing. It is amazing what you can upcycle. Actually amazing. I wear them all the time. And then same thing with these Acne Studios. I am a they got some dust on them because I haven't worn them in such a long time. I love them so much, but they are like, if I wanted to choose a murder weapon, I would choose these shoes because they are so heavy and the block on the bottom is so solid. That must be like the densest wood imaginable because like so hard. I have to have like the right socks to wear them because they can be rather uncomfortable. But they are like a bright Joker purple. But I'm a big fan of Oxfords. I think they look very elegant on women. So I have multiple. All right, more clothes. Okay, let's go into blazers. Yes. Okay. This is probably the first, like actual first designer garment I have ever purchased. And this is Maison Martin Margiela. And I got this at a thrift store, a local thrift store, for $25. And it's been a long time, but it's very cool because the front part, I don't even know what to call it. There's like vents in the front. There's like flaps that are made. So it's very much like a crazy, typical Margiela, like classic Margiela blazer. This, in addition to a very new garment that I own, is the long daddy crotch Margiela pants that I have yet to, but will wear in the future together because they make a very nice pair. But these pants, the crotch on these is literally an entire foot long. But the way that it's designed, it might be made for men, but I wear it. I like how high up it comes on my torso. The way that they're tailored, because I have thin hips, so it still ends up looking elegant and it doesn't look disheveled or anything. The fabric is quite soft and the length is good too. They don't look oddly long. This is the second Margiela garment that I just got this year for $8 at Buffalo Exchange. It is amazing. It's like, my closet is just like living proof that if you just like look through all the racks, like I mean look through all the racks. If you go to a thrift store, if you go to anywhere, any kind of consignment shop, go through every single garment. On the Real, go through 80 pages until you find that one thing that you've been looking for. It takes work. Sometimes you get lucky, like with this one, but it really, half of these things I found by chance or because I looked for hours, obsessively. The second blazer I own, this is a Mugler blazer with custom padded shoulders and the signature kind of cutout that is known of like the She-Devil collections. This is a tight bastard. Honestly, it's a very, very tight garment to wear. It's very unforgiving, but the silhouette is it's unmistakable and it's very beautiful. I wear it with a Skims dress actually. You guys probably saw it for a thumbnail of mine on here. I am not too sure if I'm ever going to get rid of this garment because I think this is a very historically important garment for the fashion community. This is kind of the signifier, this from the collection that this was in. This was the beginning of like a modern Mugler. And this was, I believe, just before Lady Gaga started sporting Mugler, like cat suits and this type of silhouette while she was doing like body modification for her Born This Way tour. So this is an important piece. And this, again, this is such an important piece in fashion, and I got this for like $100. It's crazy. It's just crazy, but it's very unique. And I wore it to the museum, like gala, and I felt like the coolest person there. We were the coolest people there. Last thing we're gonna talk about is my favorite t-shirt ever. I am not really a t-shirt person, honestly, but this t-shirt is, you can't get this anywhere anymore. The artist is a collage artist named Dank Miller, And this was, he used to have a company, or he still does, but the company was called Sex and Death. And this is one of his collages on the front. I love Sex and Death together. I like the philosophy, the idea, the theories behind that, as well as I loved this collage artist's work. I cannot find him on Instagram anymore. It makes me sad. I wish I could like link him below or something, but I cannot find him for the life of me. But this is one of these garments that I won't ever get rid of. You know, I'd rather frame it in my house somewhere than give it away. It's gonna definitely be part of a vintage t-shirt archive someday, because it was like a limited run of these and he just doesn't make them anymore. But this is my OG shirt. If I'm gonna put on a t-shirt, it's gonna be this one. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, no, last but not least, from the Reiki family. So for Thanksgiving, I went to Cammie's family's home, and Miss Betty, which is her grandmother, this was her hat. And we were looking through hats and linens and embroidery and all these things that her grandmother and her grandmother's mother did, I believe. And this hat, I was like, oh my God, magenta and net. Oh my God, like I have to put it on my head. I felt like a flight attendant or like it's so hard to find this shape for like a pillbox hat, or it almost looks like a fez whenever I put it on. But I just think it's the coolest hat in the world. And Betty anointed me and said that I could have it and that I was allowed to have it. Betty's very specific with who gets what, and I get this. So I am proud that this is in my life. It's going nowhere, and it goes with everything. I could literally wear it. We wear it, like I've worn it in the photo shoot for our coffee cart company. Like this is a big thing, big deal. Betty's hat. This has felt like a century has passed by. Cammie is a real trooper for recording this whole thing. But yeah, this is my wardrobe. This is the product of love of fashion, of love of creating things, taking a chance if you don't know what you're doing, the chance of creating something. Maybe you fail, maybe you succeed. It's a love of history, of certain time periods, of certain personalities in those time periods, and just the desire to dress differently and to look cool and to not wear yoga pants and walk around with your dog all day long. You know, like I think I maintain that when you dress well, it boosts your mood. It makes you feel better about yourself. It helps you to take on the world. You're wearing a costume in a way. You're wearing a shield, a mask of some sort. And all of these garments are here because they're important, or they've helped me out, gave me a leg up in the world. This is bohemian life right now. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. As always, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about everything. I wanted to dress up too for this video because I was thinking about Lady Gaga. I should have wore sunglasses, but Lady Gaga's Life and Looks. I love that video so much, and that's what this video reminds me of. But yeah, okay, that's it. That's all. We're gonna close the doors.